Yes, please.
जी, आप सबको सलाम अलैकुम जी। आज हमारी सेकंड प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस है और आज हमारा लाहौर कलंदर्स के साथ मैच भी है। सो आवर हेड कोच जोहान बोथा वो यहाँ पे हैं। आप सबसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि एक एक क्वेश्चन कीजिएगा ताकि सबको मौका मिल सके। हम स्टार्ट करेंगे खालिद भाई आपसे, खालिद खान।
Hi, Johan.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you. I hope you are enjoying the Abu Dhabi weather.
अपने फोन से चेक कर।
Okay, that's a joke. Johan, my main concern that everybody talking about, apart from the weather, being in the heat and everything, as we saw in Karachi, the first 13 matches that were played out of the 14 were won by the team batting second or chasing runs. So you think how important is going to be the toss, considering there will be dew factor, a lot of it, especially in the night matches that we are going to see 6 of them in the night. So can you elaborate in detail how much bothersome it will be for everyone?
Yeah, it's obviously a tricky one. You know, the trend early in the tournament was chasing was a successful bit, but you know, whatever we have to do first, we have to do it well and get ourselves into the game. As the one example we've got from our early in the tournament, we didn't bat very well in our first innings. I think that was sort of because the game before us was a high-scoring game, so we thought we needed to get something similar. So I think we learned a lot from that game, and that's all we can do. So you know, tonight is obviously new conditions, completely different, and it's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to the way it's going to turn out. You know, it doesn't matter if we bat or bowl first. I think us as a group are very excited to play again. The guys have worked very hard for a week, and you know, we've got to start our whole tournament again. Basically, we can't carry on where we left off. There's too big a gap. So yeah, we need to start well, and hopefully we can do that tonight.
Thank you. Ji Imad.
Hi, JB. Imad here again. I'm representing the PCB media. A couple of small questions. Of course, you said that it's almost a new tournament now, but the fact that you have a game in hand and you also have 6 points, joint table toppers in a sense with 4 teams, with 3 more teams besides you. So, of course, I guess that might maybe give you some kind of like at least a positive mindset going forward. And secondly, this transition from being a player recently to now being a head coach, how does it feel? Because you're super fit still. Maybe can we see you bowl for United if needed?
No, I'll start with that one. I think no, there's no chance of me bowling for United. I had a long career and I obviously enjoyed it, but I think the last Big Bash sort of finished that idea off. Sorry, what is the first part of the question now?
It was about United and being amongst the top 4 teams and
yes,
also having
sorry.
the game. No worries.
Yeah, I think, you know, that's obviously a nice position to come into, but you've got to start again. We're right up there with 3 other teams. I think everyone's a little bit nervous of where this is going to go, but we've got to take confidence from early in the season. You know, it's not a complete clean slate, but I think in our minds, we think we've got 6 games to go. So it's basically like a shortened tournament, and we play a very good team twice in Lahore. So we start with them tonight and obviously game 7 again. So yeah, we definitely respect them as a team. And I think tonight's going to be a good game. I think either way, they've got a very good lineup. And I think from our point of view, we're happy with the internationals we've got in. And obviously our local players are very good. So we're happy with our makeup of our team.
Thank you very much and all the very best, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ji, Faizan Lakhani.
Shukriya. I only wanted to ask how are players affected by the warm weather of UAE? I've heard that today it's slightly better, but overall, how the weather is affected and how are you planning to cope with that?
Oh, the weather's a factor, but I think having spent a week out there already at training sessions, different training sessions at different times, we sort of adapted. I think all the boys, there's no more complaints. You know, there's no more talking about the weather or how hot it is. I think we've made that a focus from the start. You know, first night, let's talk about it. Let's get it out there. And then from then on, the boys have just got on with it. So obviously there's going to be a lot of sweat and dew and stuff. So the ball can get slippery. The batters will have to change their gloves a lot. But I think for us, we just need to be on top of making sure that our guys get sort of cooled down between overs. So get them cold towels, get them drinks. And I think in this tournament at the moment, or the way it's going to go, your bench is going to be so important. We've spoken about that they need to help us look after the guys on the field. And it's going to be a complete group effort. It's not just the playing 11. It's going to be the full squad. We all need to be in for the 3 hours tonight, whatever it takes. And, hopefully as a squad, we can get the job done.
Thank you. Thank you. Ji, Huzaifa. हुज़ैफ़ा, आपको आवाज आ रही है? हुज़ैफ़ा, आप सुन पा रहे हैं? ओके जी, हम आगे चलते हैं एंड नेक्स्ट वन इज नुमान. जी नुमान.
Hello JB, good afternoon. Hope you are enjoying your time in UAE with the Islamabad United. I really wanted to ask you about the youngsters that Islamabad United have in the bowling lineup, in terms of Akif, Dishan Zamir, and how's Rumi dealing with these youngsters? Like, are you overall satisfied with the training sessions your youngsters have and the impact Roman is having on their bowling?
Oh, 100%. We're very happy with the way Roman's fitted in as a coach. Obviously still current. He can relate to the guys, which is a key. He obviously speaks Urdu and both languages very well. So he's a good a middleman for me. And yeah, all three youngsters are bowling beautifully at the moment. So, Wazim Jr., Zishan and Akif. Akif was great to have him in the squad because he obviously missed out on the Karachi leg through injury, but he definitely strengthens our team. So I'm sure, we're going to see all of them throughout this tournament. And I think with Islamabad United, if we feel that in our best 11, we could easily play two of the young guys in one game. So yeah, that we're very excited with what we've got. The guys have trained well. Akif, we still have to look after him a little bit because he does come off a long injury. So yeah, I think the other two are really going well, and Akif's not far behind. He's bowled well this week. So yeah, he should be ready to go soon.
Thank you. Ji, next is Arsalan. जी अरसलान, आपको आवाज आ रही है? अरसलान जावेद. ओके. नेक्स्ट इमरान सिद्दीक. जी इमरान, आपको आवाज आ रही है? ओके. नेक्स्ट इज आलमजेब. जी आलमजेब, आपको आवाज आ रही है? ओके. नेक्स्ट इज साद इश्तियाक. जी साद, आपको आवाज आ रही है? ओके. नेक्स्ट इज अब्बास रजा.
Hello, John.
Hi, good afternoon.
Shatab was recovering from injury a few days back. He could not play international cricket. Can you tell us that what is his present condition now, or he can cope with the PSL challenge and have enough fitness for that?
Oh, definitely. He's been working really hard. He's bowled a lot of overs actually for T20 preparation this week. So I think he felt, he was probably a little bit underdone coming to the UAE, and, having to spend a week in quarantine doesn't really help that situation. But we know that's for the tournament. And he's worked hard this week. He's worked really well. He's bowling beautifully. And I think his batting is coming along nicely because early in the season, he's probably a little bit over aggressive in the Karachi leg. And I think this week he's figured that out, just the way he wants to play, go about things. So I think his game is in good order. I think for me, still probably the best captain in the tournament. So that should settle him down. He's a really good captain. He's a calm captain. He does a lot of good things on the field, and the boys respect him. Even as a young leader, they really respect him. And that's all you can ask from your captain. You know, he does lead from the front. He makes good decisions under pressure, and he keeps the rest of the boys calm.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next is Bazif Jabbar. जी बाजिफ, आपको आवाज आ रही है? Okay. Next is Usama.
Hello, Johan. I was always good at your end.
All good, thank you.
Okay, I wanted to ask you, I wanted to talk about the mental exhaustion that players are facing at this moment. You know, you have played in temperature before in your career as well, but adding the quarantine period, the strict Corona SOPs, how tough does it get for the players mentally to cope with all this pressure, and how are you spotting them to cope with it?
Yeah, I think it's obviously different times. Everyone now is sort of getting used to that. You know, you've got to do quarantines, and that's part of the game, and that's part of tournaments. I think our boys handled it really well. You know, for me personally, yeah, it feels like we've been out for weeks, and we've only had 6 or 7 days out of quarantine. So we've had 5, 6 good training sessions. So yeah, I think it's sort of, the guys were just keen to get out. So I think the heat doesn't play such a big role now, because, you know, the guys just want to play cricket. So that's the good thing about it all. You know, there's no sort of hangover from too much cricket or, you know, a big series, and now you come to PSL and it's another high standard tournament. I think for us, it's the guys are just keen to play as a team again. So we obviously started the tournament nicely, and we would just like to continue. So I think from our point of view, we're just very excited to start our tournament again tonight. And yeah, mentally everyone's good to go.
Thank you. Best of luck for the game.
Thank you.
Okay जी, thank you so much. आप सबका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. जी हिमाद, it's over.
Sorry, thank you so much, JB. Thank you, Zukhraf, and all the very best for the match and the tournament ahead. Thank you.
Not
Thank
a problem.
you, JB.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, guys.
We are ready now. Over to you, Aslan.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. We have Multan Sultans head coach Andy Flower is with us. I would request Ahmad to shoot the first question, and then we'll take it up from there. Yes, Ahmad, please.
Andy, great to have you here with us as always. A real pleasure. Quickly about Multan Sultans, Karachi was a bit tough for you guys, of course, on the 5th spot. I'm sure someone of your caliber and the team that you have at Sultans, you must have hoped for better results. But I guess in a way, it's also well past you now. Looking ahead to Abu Dhabi, what are the areas that you would like to work on? Of course, you have a new combination also. So how ready you feel the team is for the challenge ahead?
Yes, so obviously we would like to be further up the table at the halfway mark, but that is not the case, and that's the reality of the situation. I thought that that first leg in Karachi was tough for all defending teams, as we all know. I think the only game that was lost by the chasing side was our very last game, the last game of that first leg. So most of the time, the results went to the toss, and I think we lost. We only won 1 toss. So we find ourselves 5th in the league at the moment. We've actually been given the chance to start afresh, and that's the way we're looking at it. We've got a slightly different side, like most of the sides have had to make some enforced changes. But I think we've got some really exciting talent in our squad, new talent as well. So we will be, we're certainly looking forward to this leg in Abu Dhabi. I think it's brilliant that the PCB and the organisers at the PSL have been able to put it on in the first place in such a short period of time. And it's great to be here and again part of the PSL.
Thank you, Andy, and all the very best.
Thank you.
Great. Khalid H. Khan from Dawn News want to ask a question.
Hi, Andy.
Hi, Khalid.
Andy, don't worry. As long as you're smiling, you always look good on video. So you don't worry about your hair being untied in anything. That's a joke. Okay.
Too kind.
I just say the problem is the toss. It does become very, very important factor, considering there will be a lot of dew in Abu Dhabi, because then we had in Karachi. And as you say, the very last match was won by team. Not winning the toss. Okay, but so we think how important it's going to be and how are you going to cope with it? I mean, the toss is definitely it's not in your hand.
Yeah, I remember in the first leg actually saying to our team that we shouldn't be too worried about this and too dominated by the toss. And actually, my challenge to the team was to break that rhythm. Unfortunately, we broke it in the wrong way, and it was us that didn't end up successfully chasing. But you can't get too distracted by the fact that results went with the toss as often as they did. And even though I think the percentages will probably go that way again here, given the dew situation, I think ultimately, if you are playing outstanding cricket, you can win whether you bat first or second. And that's our responsibility.
Basif Jabbar, can you please ask your question?
Yeah, greetings, Andy. Basif from Cricket.pk. Now, Andy, the tournament has been tough for you, and the only positive so far for Multan was Mohammad Rizwan, as he's topping the batting charts. So have you identified any more positives in your side? And what do you think, what exactly was the problem for Multan Sultans in their journey so far in PSL 6?
Well, I think, in fact, the first question that Imad asked, I didn't answer fully. So thanks again for asking that question. I think in the first half, we actually batted really well in the main. I know we didn't chase down that final target, but in the other 4 games, I thought we batted really well. Rizwan led that charge, definitely. And it's wonderful to see a player like him who had been pigeonholed as not a natural T20 player. It's wonderful to see a young player like that show what you can do with skill and an understanding of the game and brave, courageous, aggressive batting. So I think the areas that we lacked were in wicket taking up front, and then also at the back end, when our death bowling wasn't as skillful as you need to defend on flat pitches, fast outfields, and with a bit of dew around. I mean, it's a big challenge for the bowlers, but we weren't quite good enough in that area. I think that was very obvious. So if we want to come back and get into the playoffs, those are the areas that we will have to improve in and keep those high standards with the bat, with key players like Rizwan making big performances again.
Yes, Ashir, for the next question.
Hi, Andy. This is Ashir Wahidi from Cricket Hall PK. My question to you is with regards to Shahid Afridi. How much is the team going to be missing Shahid Afridi after his injury right at the moment?
So, Ashir, I got the question about Shahid Afridi, and I'll answer that, but I didn't get the first part of what you were saying. So if I don't answer satisfactorily, just repeat your question. Okay. So the bit about Shahid Afridi, he is obviously an inspirational man and an inspirational player. He's got a He's got tons of charisma. He makes other people in the dressing room and on the field more confident. And he's a great guy to have around. You know, I've personally become friends with him over the many years that we've interacted. I would prefer to have him in the squad, of course. And he even still making contributions. I think it would be, I think any squad without Shahid Afridi in it is worse off. But in saying that, I'm also, can someone mute whoever, is it Imran, please? But in saying that, what tends to happen with some of these great players is we all know that nothing stays permanent, and that when a great player finishes, or in this case, a great player is injured and can't take part, that someone else will step into that vacuum, into that opportunity. And it's a great opportunity for other people to step up. And so it's like the cycle of life. When something ends, it offers the opportunity for something else to grow and begin. So this is what I'm looking for in our team.
Okay, I have a request, gentlemen. Please turn off your mics so we don't have any interruptions. Alam Zaib, you are next.
Andy, you hear me?
Hi, Alam.
Andy, having just one game, Multan Sultan need to deliver 110% in every game. So how much you are confident about making a comeback in the event?
Well, it's a tough ask for us to qualify from here, no doubt about that. That's the reality. So I think we all understand that, but that's nothing to be afraid of. If anything, it takes a bit of pressure off because no one now expects us to qualify. So I expect our guys to go out there and give everything for a number of reasons. Firstly, we're proud to represent the Multan Sultans franchise. Our owners are completely committed and right behind us, and support us fully in all sorts of ways. We obviously are all very competitive animals, and we want to get into those playoffs. The PSL is a high quality competition, and we're proud about our performances. You know, I'm very proud to lead the group along with Rizwan, and our players are proud about their own personal performances and careers, but also being part of a setup that's motivated and organized and skillful. So we've got lots to play for and nothing to be afraid of.
Saad Ahmed from Daily Times. You can ask.
Andy, I'm Saad. I hope you're doing well. My question is that you guys have got an aging squad. Like Imran is 41, Lala is obviously 40. You have got quite an aging squad. So what are you doing to cope up with this hectic schedule and the heat in Abu Dhabi? How are you going to? What are you guys going to maintain the fitness level to go through the tournament?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question, Saad. Yeah, and we're not sure of the dimensions of the ground as well. If they prepare quite big boundaries, those are other reasons that might stretch an aging group in the field. But what the older players need to make up for in perhaps a slight difference in their speed or their stamina from their younger days is they make up for that with experience and nous and cricket intelligence and decision making, and that's their responsibility to bring those factors into play. and then the youth, the fast-witted, quicker-moving youth like Gurbaz and Rizwan and Hetmaya and Kushdil. These are the guys that have to make up in the field and provide the energy and speed that we're after. So, I think, we've seen athletes, we see Jimmy Anderson or Federer and these guys perform at very high levels, regardless of their years. And this is what we're looking for in some of our old players. You mentioned Imran Tahir at 41. That guy is as hungry as a 20-year-old professional cricketer. And it's lovely to see, and it's inspirational to be around, if I may say so. It inspires me as a coach. I love his enthusiasm and his appreciation and gratitude for still being involved and playing at this level. And I can see him doing it for a few years yet. So I hope that answers your question, sir.
Okay, moving on to the next question. Imran Siddiqui, you are next. Imran.
Andy, can you hear me?
Hi, Imran, yes.
Andy, do you think sudden change in captaincy before PSL 6 affect Multan Sultan run in the league? Because Shan Masood led the side brilliantly last season.
Yes, I think that is a perfectly reasonable question to ask. And I think it did affect us in a way, actually, being so close to the start of the tournament. Shan is and was a very well-respected captain. He did do a really good job, I agree, and did a good job with the bat as well. But we decided to make the change, and I think it did upset the equilibrium of the group a little. This is an honest answer. In saying that, I would also say that Rizwan did a good job as captain as well. And I like the way he approaches the game. He's confident, he's smart, he's brave, and he leads from the front, as we saw when he had a bat in his hands. And this is also a really good growth opportunity for Rizwan. He's going to play a very important part in Pakistan's cricket future in the medium term. And we hope that in our franchise, we're playing a part in the growth of not only him as an individual and a leader, but also in other young prospective international players. So we're looking forward to the second half of PSL 2021 and seeing Rizwan's captaincy and leadership grow. And we're right behind him. I know Shan Masood is a really good young man, and he's right behind him too. And so we're just looking forward to a great experience and hopefully better results.
So we are moving on to our next and the last question, and we are wrapping it up after that. Mohammad Yusuf, you're next.
Andy, you have two top quality leg spinners, Man and Imran. Do you think they can play a big role on these pitches?
Again, a very good and appropriate question. I think it's nice that we actually get to see the first game on TV. We will see the conditions in which we'll be playing. It's possible that we'd only play one leg spinner if conditions are more suited to seam bowlers. So we'll watch that first game closely, and then we'll assess the conditions when we arrive for our game on the 10th. So 2 leg spinners worked well for us 2 years ago in in PSL 2020. And then in Karachi, didn't work that well for us. There wasn't much turn on offer until that very last game, I think, when Qais Ahmed got a bit of turn. Otherwise, it played pretty flat for leg spinners or for all the spinners. So this venue here historically doesn't spin that much in limited overs cricket. So let's assess conditions. Perhaps in the second, I mean, it's possible that in the second bit of this tournament in Abu Dhabi, if we're reusing pitches, they start to spin more. But I don't want to assume too much about the conditions. We'll watch tomorrow night's game and we'll make our decisions according to conditions.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for having us here. We hope to see you soon. And thanks, Andy.
Andy, wonderful answers as always.
Thank you.
Really well explained. Thank you so much and all the very best for the tournament.
Thanks, guys. All the best. Bye-bye.